The New England Patriots just signed a beast. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out that content to people just like you who can't get enough Patriots football. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment below. Today, what we're going to be talking about, I think, sneaky signing by the New England Patriots off someone's practice squad. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to be talking about a specific rookie wide receiver. Gerard Mayo had some good comments, promising comments he made. As well, we're going to be talking Drake May, leading up to the big Miami Dolphins rematch. So let's jump into it. Titus Leo, a edge rusher who was drafted in the 6th round in 2023 by the Indianapolis Colts in the 6th round. He was on the injured reserve his whole first year for the Colts. Then he was waived, later to be picked up on the practice squad. The New England Patriots signed him off the practice squad. As I said, edge rusher from Wagner, which is an FCS school, smaller school, but again, made a big splash there, big enough that he was able to get drafted. He has great size in 6'3", 250 he is pushing. And when it comes to Titus Leo, another big thing is his 40 time is just under 4.7, so a 4.69. So for an edge rusher, that is absolutely blazing. So we look at the pros and cons, the strengths and weaknesses. What's awesome for him is in his college days, so really the last time he played football, had a ton of tackle for losses in his last 2 years. He's explosive off the snap. He has a really good move in length when it comes to his first move, whatever that might be. If that's a punch, it's a swim, whatever it might be. He is really good off the edge. Now, remember, if you are on a practice squad, you can be signed by another team, but you have to be signed to their active 53-man roster. So the New England Patriots, seeing him, saying, hey, he has the potential. We need more from edge rushing. And remember, we've talked about our biggest needs going into this offseason in the draft, in free agency, whatever it might be, offensive line. And I'm going to say edge rusher is right up there. And then you look at a wide receiver number 1. So I think this is a phenomenal pickup. Am I saying he's going to come on the scene and be a huge asset off the bat? No, but it's a young, talented player that can come in, and I think the Patriots first and foremost see they can develop this guy. So that's huge. They could have brought someone up from their own practice squad. They didn't. They saw him. They signed him. Now, back when he was drafted, the Patriots had an eye on him. It was someone they wanted. Again, he ended up being taken by the Colts, so the Patriots weren't able to get him. But I think this is a huge pickup. Now, I'm going to try this. I have not done this in a long time, but we got some highlights, just a couple plays that I just want to show you. Now, he is on towards the boundary, so towards us. He's not that outside linebacker. He's that edge. He's that defensive end, right, lined up right outside that tackle. And so almost that 7 technique. So he's going to come right here, right off the snap. He's going to come off and make that tackle. Literally just blows right past that tackle. Boom. That's the first play. Second play. This is from, I believe this is the East-West practice. So it's something they do at the collegiate level. A lot of NFL recruits come. It's either that or it's the Senior Bowl, one of the two. Regardless, here he is coming off the edge. You can see how quick he is. That 9 technique right there comes, makes that move, goes in, done. Absolutely done. Quick off the edge, and I think going to be potentially could be a incredible move for the New England Patriots. I'm excited to see him play just because, again, young talent. We need young talent on the edge. It was a bummer that Matthew Judon left, but again, we know he was up in age. He was pushing low 30s. So again, it's one of those moves. Hey, let's get a draft pick. Let's send this guy out. And edge rushing is a need for the New England Patriots right now. Yes, they had a great game against the Chicago Bears in that depleted offensive line, but adding more young talent is needed, especially Uche leaving as well. Not saying he was going to come and absolutely dominate for the Patriots or that it was a necessarily huge loss, but I think that Titus Leo has potential. There was a reason he was on the practice squad for the Colts, and chances are that first year, it's possible that he would have got some playing time if he wasn't on the IR. So I think this is going to be a big move for the Patriots, and I hope that will pay some dividend in the future. So comment below, what do you think about this signing of Titus Leo? Next, we're going to talk about Jayvon Baker. Now, Jayvon going into the season, a lot of people were super, super high on him, and I think people still should be. He has a ton of potential. He is a great wide receiver, did well at UCF under Gus Malzahn's offense. I just think he has struggled. He's had drops. He hasn't looked fresh. He did take some kick returns. Later was taken out just because he wasn't necessarily setting up right. But I love Gerard Mayo coming out, the leader that he is, and I feel like he's kind of been developing to be. He's going to continue to get better. He's been great in meeting rooms and hopefully shows up on the field. So that goes to show he's receptive. He wants to learn. He wants to be taught. He wants to be coached. He wants to get better. There's two different players you have. There's players that come in, they think they know everything, they can do everything. They come in, if they're a bust, that's it. They're probably not going to last long. If it's someone who they have the potential, that raw talent, they are willing to be coached, those are the players that you're going to be able to change and that you can make great. So I still have a lot of hope for Jayvon Baker, and I think with older wide receivers still on the roster in people like Kendrick Bourne can really take a player like this, like Jayvon Baker, who could have potential to be, I'm not saying he is now because he's not, but potential to be a number one receiver. And I think a lot of people saw that going into this season. I asked the question more than once, what wide receiver are you most excited for? What player? And a lot of people said Jayvon Baker. So again, I still have a ton of hope for him. Remember, it's just his rookie year. We got plenty of games left. And so I think if he can have a great offseason, come into the next season, he can be dangerous. So that's just good to hear from Gerard. Last but not least, our boy Drake May. Now, a lot of people have differing opinions on Dan Orlovsky. I know his playing days in Detroit were not great, running out of the back of the end zone or everything, but I do respect his take on football. He's been around football his whole life. He understands it well. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of ESPN, especially how they got rid of a ton of analysts, reporters that I think actually did a very good job. And Fox was smart enough to take up a lot of these guys, CBS Sports, all these different sports outlets. But again, I think Dan Orlovsky is a good voice of reason, and he was hyping up Drake May, basically saying, listen, if he had played those first 5 games, I think he would be in really big contention to be at a position to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And he says this, he won't win it because his team isn't good enough, which is true. But just talking about play, Drake May would absolutely be right in the talk or conversation for Offensive Rookie of the Year. His tape is flat out awesome for the Patriots. Again, guys, glass half full. You got to take this rebuild in stride, and there's a lot of potential for this team. If they can get some other pieces, again, I'm going to say this, and you might laugh at me all you want. You start Drake May this season, I don't think we're sitting at the record that we're sitting at right now. Surely there's a couple more wins, and you could be fringe wild card spot. Again, young team, but there's promise. Young team, but there's promise. Drake May, absolute dog. And I think the Patriots, they make a couple more moves, and they're aggressive when it comes to their draft and getting the things they need. Again, look at teams like the Houston Texans. 2 years ago, they were not good. They were awful. They have a good draft. They get some assets. Boom, they turn it around. You look at the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, a handful of years ago, were an awful team. They have some good drafts. They get some assets. Boom. Look at them now. Don't sleep on the New England Patriots. Have hope. Have hope. Again, comment below. Tell me what you guys think about any of this stuff. This is Sports Talk Patriots. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. We will talk later. Peace.